Most people don't realize it, but your life is just a reflection of the thoughts you've repeated over and over again. You're not stuck because you're unlucky. You're stuck because your mind is running the same old story, and it's on autopilot. But here's the truth. You're not broken. Your programming is. And just like any program, it can be rewritten. If you change what's running in your mind, you can change everything outside of it. In this video, I'll show you how to reprogram your thoughts, rewire your beliefs, and watch your entire life begin to shift, one day at a time. You don't need more motivation. You need a better mental code. Let's start right now. Your mind is the most powerful tool you'll ever own, but most people never learn how to use it. We come into the world with an open mind, ready to learn, absorb, and grow. But as we move through life, that open mind starts picking up beliefs, fears, habits, and patterns. And before we know it, we're running a program we didn't even choose. Think about it. The way you react to stress, the way you handle money, the way you view relationships, the way you speak to yourself, it's all been coded into you by repetition. You've learned it over time, often without even realizing it, and now it plays on loop. The same thoughts, the same habits, the same results. That's why nothing changes. You wake up hoping things will feel different, but your brain is still playing yesterday's instructions. That's what most people miss. They think they're choosing every action, but they're just acting out a script that's already been written in their subconscious mind. Here's the part nobody tells you. You are not your thoughts. You are not your past. You are the programmer. You are the one who can choose a new story. Every belief you carry today, whether it's empowering or destructive, got there because it was repeated enough times to feel like truth. And that's good news. Because if repetition installed the code, then repetition can rewrite it. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take control of what you're allowing into your mind from this point forward. You have to become intentional about your inputs, your thoughts, your language, your focus, because that's how you install a new program. Every time you say, "I can't," your brain listens. Every time you say, "I'm not good enough," your brain stores it. But every time you say, "I'm growing," or "I'm capable," or "I'm becoming something better," you begin to shift your identity, and your actions will follow. Your life will always follow the direction of your strongest thoughts. So if you've been stuck, if you've been doubting yourself, if you've been repeating the same mistakes over and over, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because you've been running a mental loop that's keeping you small. But you don't have to keep running it. You can pause, you can delete, you can rewrite, and you can build something better, something that actually works in your favor. It all starts with one decision: to take back the keyboard and start typing something new, something strong, something honest, something powerful. You don't need more motivation. You need a better mental system. And the moment you realize that you're the one who writes the code, everything changes. Your thoughts stop being limits and start becoming tools. Most of what's holding you back isn't visible. It's not the job, the people, the market, or even the obstacles in your way. It's the beliefs you carry deep down without even questioning them. These hidden thoughts run like background apps in your mind, draining your power without you even knowing. And here's the scary part. Most of them were never yours to begin with. You picked them up when you were young. You absorbed them from your environment, from people you trusted, from moments where you felt hurt or rejected or forgotten. Maybe someone told you you weren't smart enough. Maybe you failed once and decided you're not meant for success. Maybe you watched your parents struggle and learned that money always comes with pain. Over time, those moments turned into beliefs, not because they were true, but because they were repeated. And once a belief gets installed, your mind starts searching for proof. It looks for reasons to confirm it, and it ignores everything that goes against it. That's how the cycle begins. That's how people stay stuck for years without understanding why. You might tell yourself, "I'm not confident." But that's not a fact. It's just a belief. A belief shaped by old experiences, not your real potential. And if you keep repeating it, you'll never act boldly enough to become confident. Or maybe you think, "I always mess things up." That belief will keep you from even trying. Your actions will match the identity you believe in, even if that identity isn't true. This is how the mind works. Whatever you believe about yourself, your brain will try to protect. That's why people self-sabotage. They get close to success, then pull away. Not because they don't want it, but because their mind doesn't believe they deserve it. Here's the truth. Your beliefs are not fixed. They are not facts. They are just thoughts you've accepted for too long. And the moment you challenge them, they start to lose power. You don't have to believe everything you think. You don't have to carry old stories that no longer serve you. It starts with awareness. The next time you hear that voice in your head say, "You can't," stop and ask, "Who told me that? When did I decide that was true? What if it's not?" That one moment of awareness can break the loop. And when you break the loop, you create space for something new, something better, something true. You are not broken. You are not behind. You're just carrying beliefs that were never designed to help you grow. But now you see them, and once you see them, you can change them. That's the beginning of power. That's when transformation starts, not when you fix your life, but when you fix what you believe is possible. And when you do that, your actions change, your patterns change, your outcomes change. Everything begins to shift the moment you stop believing the lies and start building your truth. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant there, good or bad, grows with time. And just like a garden, the quality of what you feed it determines what you get back. Most people don't think twice about what they're pouring into their brain every single day. But here's the truth. Your mind is always listening. The music you play, the shows you watch, the people you talk to, the words you speak to yourself, all of it becomes the fuel your mind uses to make decisions, form habits, and build beliefs. If all you ever hear is fear, doubt, and drama, don't be surprised when you feel anxious, confused, or stuck. You can't grow a peaceful life on toxic input. You can't expect clarity if your mental diet is filled with noise and negativity. Let me ask you something. What do you listen to when you wake up? What voices do you hear most throughout your day? Are you filling your mind with possibilities or problems? Are you surrounding yourself with voices that remind you of who you can become, or voices that keep you tied to who you used to be? Because whatever you expose yourself to the most becomes normal to your mind. And once something feels normal, it becomes part of your identity. This is why changing your input is one of the fastest ways to shift your entire life. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to feed your brain something better. Start small. Swap one negative voice for one that lifts you up. Replace mindless scrolling with 10 minutes of something that teaches you something new. Listen to audio that reminds you of your potential. Read things that challenge your thinking. Talk to people who believe in you even when you doubt yourself. And most of all, listen to yourself with love, not criticism. The words you say about yourself become commands to your subconscious. If you keep saying, "I'm stuck," you'll stay stuck. But if you start saying, "I'm learning," "I'm growing," or "I'm becoming stronger," your brain will start finding ways to make those statements true. The input you choose is your responsibility, and no one else can manage that for you. Protect your peace, guard your focus, be ruthless about what gets access to your mental space, because what goes in will always come out. You want better thoughts? Feed your brain better content. You want a better mood? Watch who and what you let influence it. You want a better life? It starts with the mental seeds you're planting today. This isn't magic, it's a decision. And the good news is, you don't have to change everything at once. Just start feeding your brain the kind of input that supports the future you want, not the past you've been stuck in. Change the feed, and you'll change the frequency you live on. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal, but it's also one of the most underused. Here's the thing, your brain doesn't know the difference between something you vividly imagine and something you actually experience. It reacts the same way, and that's where the power of visualization comes in. When you close your eyes and mentally rehearse your goals, your brain starts to build the pathways necessary to achieve them. This isn't some woo-woo idea, it's backed by science. Studies have shown that athletes, for example, who visualize their performance beforehand, do better in real life. They're creating new neural connections, priming their body and mind for success. And guess what? You can do the same thing. Imagine your ideal life for a moment. Picture it clearly, down to the smallest detail. See yourself waking up in the morning, going through your day, achieving your goals, living with confidence. The more vividly you can imagine this, the more real it becomes to your brain. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between this imagined version of you and the person you could be. So it starts working towards that version of you, pulling in the people, opportunities, and ideas that align with that vision. It's like setting a GPS for your future. Your brain starts guiding you there, even if you don't fully understand how yet. And you don't have to visualize for hours. Just a few minutes a day can make a massive difference. The key is to make your visualizations as detailed and as emotionally charged as possible. The more you feel what success would feel like, pride, excitement, peace, the more you activate the emotional center of your brain. When you tie emotions to your visualization, you amplify its power. It's like charging your vision with energy, making it more magnetic. So, picture yourself succeeding, not just in a generic way, but in the specific details. How does it feel to finally reach that big goal? How does it feel to have your dream job, your dream home, your dream life? What are you wearing? Where are you? Who's with you? The clearer and more specific you make the picture, the more powerful it becomes. Now, I know it might feel strange at first. You might think, I'm not there yet, why should I pretend like I am? But that's exactly the point. The act of visualizing gets you closer to becoming that person. It aligns your actions with your dreams. It sparks the belief that your goals are not just possible, they're already happening in your mind. And when your brain starts believing in the possibility, it's only a matter of time before your actions follow. So make it a daily habit. Visualize yourself achieving your most important goals. Let that vision fill you with energy and excitement. And watch as your mind begins to steer you in the direction of your dreams. It's not just about seeing the destination, it's about becoming the person who's already there. And that's when the magic happens. Reprogramming your mind doesn't happen overnight. It's not like flipping a switch where everything instantly changes. No, it takes time. And the most important factor in this process is repetition. Your brain is wired for efficiency. It loves habits because they make life easier. But the problem is, most of the habits you've formed weren't consciously chosen. They were just repeated over time, and now they run on autopilot. This is why you're stuck. The key to breaking free is creating new habits through deliberate, repeated action. Think of your mind like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. If you want to change, you have to make the new way of thinking just as automatic as the old one. It might feel unnatural at first to focus on positive thinking, to visualize success, to speak kindly to yourself, but the more you repeat it, the more it becomes second nature. Here's the thing about repetition. The more your brain hears something, the more it believes it's true. So if you want to change your life, start by changing your daily thoughts and actions. Don't expect results immediately. It's the small, consistent actions that make the biggest impact. And every time you catch yourself slipping back into old habits or old thinking, don't get discouraged. Just gently bring yourself back to the new path. The more you practice, the stronger your new mental habits will become. One of the reasons people fail at changing their mindset is because they don't give themselves enough time. They try to reprogram in a few days, get discouraged by the lack of immediate results, and give up. But you have to understand, true transformation is a marathon, not a sprint. Repetition is the key to rewiring your brain. And even if you don't see massive changes right away, every time you consciously choose a better thought or behavior, you're training your brain for success. Eventually, those new thoughts will become your automatic way of thinking. You won't have to try so hard. They'll just be part of who you are. Here's the good news. The more you repeat your new habits, the less effort they require. At first, It might feel like a struggle to think positively, to visualize your success, to break old patterns. But with time, those actions will become automatic, and your mind will start seeking out ways to support your new goals. Repetition is the magic sauce. Whether it's affirmations, visualization, or simply choosing a better thought, every repetition is like a small victory that brings you closer to your new reality. So don't rush the process. Understand that real change comes with time and consistent effort. Trust that every positive thought, every act of self-love, and every time you choose to reprogram your mind, you're getting closer to the life you want. Stick with it, because the more you repeat, the more it becomes you. And when it becomes you, nothing can stop your success. If you truly want to reprogram your mind, it all starts with one thing: your self-talk. The way you speak to yourself is one of the most powerful tools you have when it comes to shaping your reality. Most people don't even realize how negative their inner voice is. It's easy to be kind to others, but when it comes to ourselves, we often say things we would never say to a friend or loved one. I'm not good enough. I always mess up. I can't do this. These are the whispers that play in the background of your mind every day, shaping how you feel about yourself and what you're capable of. But here's the truth: your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. If you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, your brain starts believing it. But on the flip side, if you tell yourself you're capable, worthy, and strong, your mind will start searching for ways to make that true. Self-talk is the most accessible form of reprogramming because it's something you have complete control over. You don't need a gym membership or expensive tools to change the way you think. You just need to pay attention to the words you use and begin shifting them. The words we say about ourselves directly impact our self-esteem and how we see the world. When you speak negatively about yourself, you reinforce your beliefs of inadequacy. But when you start speaking with kindness, compassion, and empowerment, you create new mental pathways that support your growth. This isn't about pretending to be perfect or ignoring your flaws. It's about speaking to yourself in a way that encourages growth, even through mistakes. The power of self-talk comes from consistency. It's not enough to say one kind thing to yourself and expect everything to change. You need to make it a habit. Replace "I can't" with "I can learn." Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I am enough, and I'm becoming better every day." Your mind will begin to believe it. The more you repeat these positive affirmations, the more they become part of who you are. You start to see yourself as someone who can achieve, who is worthy of success, who deserves happiness. And when you believe that, your actions change. You'll approach challenges with a sense of possibility, not fear. You'll take risks you wouldn't have taken before. You'll show up for yourself in ways you never imagined possible. Another powerful shift happens when you stop the negative self-talk in its tracks. Every time you catch yourself thinking or saying something that doesn't serve you, replace it with something positive. Don't just silence the negativity. Fill that space with something empowering. If you think, "I'll never be able to do this," replace it with, "I'm learning and getting better every day." The more you interrupt those negative patterns, the less control they have over you. Over time, the positive self-talk will become your natural state. So listen closely to the way you speak to yourself. Recognize that your words create your reality, and make the choice to speak life, confidence, and possibility into your own story. Because when you change your self-talk, you change your life. Your mindset is the key that unlocks your true potential. It's the foundation on which everything else is built. But here's the catch: your mindset is not fixed. It's not something you're born with. It's something you can change at any moment. And the most important shift you can make is moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence are set in stone, that they're either good at something or they're not. But those with a growth mindset understand that their abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. And that right there is the difference between staying stuck and stepping into your full potential. When you adopt a growth mindset, you stop seeing failure as something to fear. Instead, you see it as a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey to success. You start to embrace challenges not because they're easy, but because you know that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks, you tackle them head-on, understanding that the discomfort you feel is a sign that you're learning and evolving. And when you adopt this mindset, something magical happens. The obstacles you once saw as roadblocks become nothing, more than opportunities to level up. You stop limiting yourself to what you've always known, and you start exploring what you can do next. But the shift doesn't stop at how you view challenges. It also impacts how you view your own worth and abilities. When you believe in growth, you believe in your potential to improve. You don't see mistakes as evidence of failure, but as proof that you're trying. And every time you try, you learn. When you embrace this mindset, you begin to take ownership of your success and your setbacks. You stop waiting for external circumstances or other people to change your situation. You understand that you have the power to decide how you respond, how you grow, and ultimately, how far you go. But here's the most powerful part. When you make these mindset shifts, you unlock a whole new world of possibilities. You begin to see potential where others see limitations. You begin to see opportunities where others see risks. You take action even when the path isn't clear, because you know that every step forward is a step toward a more powerful version of yourself. You stop being afraid of growth because you've realized that it's the only way to truly live. So take control of your mindset today. Understand that growth is not a destination, but a journey that you are fully capable of walking. Shift your thinking, believe in your potential, and unlock the life you've always dreamed of. You're not limited by where you start. You're only limited by the mindset you choose to embrace. So choose growth and watch as your true potential unfolds before your eyes. You've learned the steps to reprogram your mind for success, but now it's time to take action. What small change can you make today to start reprogramming your thoughts and habits? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. I'd love to hear how you're planning to implement these ideas in your life. And remember, the power is within you. So don't wait. Start now. Hit that like button if you found this video helpful. Subscribe for more content like this. And let's keep growing together. Until next time, keep reprogramming your mind, because success starts with you.